Hello folks, this is Margie Roy from 3dcuts.com, and today I'm putting together the tutorial on how to assemble my sunflower embroidery hoop design. This is one in a series of embroidery hoop wall decor designs that I've developed, and this is a great one for Thanksgiving. Be sure you go to my website at the address shown on the screen to get additional information for putting this design together. I give you links to the embroidery hoop, the ink, the ribbon, the papers, all kinds of good information is there that is not included in this video, so be sure to go to that address. Now let's get started. I have already cut out all of the pieces on my cutting machine. You should do the same. You might want to leave the golden sunflower leaves attached to your mat, and I'll show you why when I get there. There is some assembly that we have to do before we put the whole thing together. We're going to prep some pieces. And the first thing I'm going to prep is I'm going to prep the letters. You'll see that I recommended that you cut out each letter 3 times. That's because I want it to have some bulk. And we are going to glue these 3 layers together. They get a whole lot more strength when you add some glitter glue to them. I use art glitter glue. It doesn't have any glitter in it. It's what I use on all of my cardstock, and I've transferred it to this little container so that I get this tiny tip. Links to all of this at the website. I'm going to apply glue to the back of this. You could have cut it all out of the same colored cardstock. If your machine cuts thicker material, you could have just cut one out of a thicker material. Mine doesn't do that, so I am going to glue these together. I'll start by adding a thin layer of glue to the back of the one that's going on the front. I'll now carefully line up a matching layer and attach them together. Our glitter glue does dry quickly and clear, but it doesn't dry instantly. So on something like this, you can adjust it into place as you move along for just a little while. I'm aligning all these edges. I'll do that for all 3 layers. There we go. There's my thanks. I'm going to put that to the side and let it dry and stiffen up some and work on the letters of give. It's the same thing. All 3 layers will get put together. I think I'm going to put a scrap paper down to protect my surface here so I don't get things dirty though. These are a little smaller and they might be better. These will probably be easier using my Xyron Creative Station. I'm going to give that a try because they're a little tinier. Let's see, I'll have to put the glue on 2 of these. So they go in face up. That's this way. And 1 on this one. And let's get a couple of the E's in there. Couple eyes. Only have to put glue on the back of 2. There, now these have adhesive on the back of them. The disadvantage of applying adhesive this way is that I'm going to have to be exact in my placement. We'll see if I can do that. Let's start small. Here's my eye. The eye with the adhesive. That worked nicely. Third layer. Great. Sirens are a mixed blessing. They do put on the adhesive nice and evenly, but then they often leave this film in places where you don't want it. Clean that out. There we go with the smaller letters. In the end, I don't think I saved any time by using my Xyron. Adding the glue by hand might have been just as easy. I'm going to have to hit these with an adhesive eraser to get rid of the little gobs of rubber glue on the side, but they're good and stiff. Okay, let's put those to the side. Well, my hands are still dirty. I am now going to work on prepping the leaves. I included a lot of leaves because how you apply these is up to the artist as they put it together. You can choose whether you use a textured side up or down. This is a sheet of craft foam, and I'm going to put these on that, all the leaves on that, and I am going to use the end of some sort of blunt instrument. This is my peeling spatula, and I'm going to draw some veins in these leaves, just giving it a little more detail. There, do that to all of the leaves. And then I want you to take some distressing ink. I have Tim Holtz Vintage Photo distressing ink. It's kind of a coppery brown. And I'm going to lightly brush that onto all of the leaves. It helps accentuate the veins, and it just adds just a little more interest to the leaves when the whole thing is together. Now, I've already done most of the leaves. I saved a few to show you how, but all of the rest are already done, so you don't have to watch me ink them all. But that's what you're to do with all of the leaves. Oh, here's one that I missed. And we can put those to the side to dry. Now, the last inking job before we go on to construction is the petals of the sunflowers. Now, this sheet of petals, I've left them all here just because they're easier to ink if they're still all together and I don't have to handle each one. And I want to take the ink and just ink the tips of each of the petals a very tiny bit. There we go. There's really no right or wrong way to do that, but it just adds a little more differentiation between the petals if you do it. Okay, now we can take these off of their background sheet. There we go. And we can separate these. And now we can start assembly. I have 3 backs here. I think that I'm going to, before we start assembly, let's take the backs and let's do just a little bit of distressing on them. I think that they'll look odd solid green if I distress the other things. So let's add a little bit of Okay, there are 3 sizes, small, medium, and large. We're going to start with the large one. We are going to take art glitter glue and put it around this center of the largest green. And then we are going to take some of the larger petals, curl them a little bit, and glue them in place. Just going around here like this. You don't want them flat. You want them to have a little bit of dimension. And then layer 2 is going to go between each one of these a little bit closer to the center. So again, take some of the larger ones, curl them, and alternate them. You want them in the spaces between that front row. Make sure you put the distressed side forward. Like so. That one needs to move over a little bit, and that one needs to go in there. And I guess I need one more. Give it some dimension. Now, on the stacks of centers, there's small, medium, and large, and this is the large one. You take each of these and you fold up all of the edges like so. There are 6 centers, and they will get glued inside of each other. Creating a textured sunflower center. You'll then take that and glue it into the center of the sunflower. I am now going to take the green leaves that go behind the sunflower and curl some of them forward and some of them back, just using my fingernail. Random. I really like how realistic this design looks. Now that's the large one. We need to do 2 more, a small and a medium. I'm going to turn off the camera and make them. The directions are exactly the same as the first one. So let's make the other 2 sunflowers. Okay, folks, I'm back from completing my 3 sunflowers. I've assembled all my things, and now I'm going to make my embroidery hoop wreath. I have burlap ribbon. I got this at Amazon. I've cut a piece that is a little more, about 20 inches long. I've cut another piece that is about 7 inches long, and I've cut that thin to 1.5 inches because I have 1.5 inches brass D-ring that I'm going to use to hang it. That's optional. Now let's take the embroidery ring apart and let's place this just a hair above center, like so. Now I would like my tightening thing to be visible, that's optional, off to the right so that it offsets my flowers on the other side. And let's put that on. Now I am going to glue that tight. I don't want it getting loose over time. So let's take that off again. I think for that one I'm going to use art glitter glue, and I'm going to put it here. And I'm going to put it opposite it over here. I am going to again position this centered just a hair above the center of the design, and then I'm going to put this back onto it and pull it tight, like so. Now the thanks is going to be positioned to the right, leaving room for the flowers over here. I want it to be on the burlap, so that helps hold the letters. I want the S to be well supported over here on the ring and this as well. The G is going to fit right in here with the IVE also well onto the burlap here, so that it'll get good support from it. But let's start by gluing the thanks. Now I am going to turn this upside down as it is positioned like this. I am going to pull these back and I'm going to put some more glue, and I'm debating between hot glue or art glitter glue, but I think I'll use the art glitter glue here. And turn that out. Same thing here. That doesn't seem to be holding it. Let's try hot glue instead. Much better. Just a thin line of hot glue seems to be the trick. Let that dry. Meanwhile, let's look at this. Make sure I've got my placement right. S is on the hoop. Thanks is over there. About like so. Let's flip it over. I think I better hold it in two places. Flip it over. I'm going to mark this so I know where to put the glue. See if I can see those marks. Yes, I can. So let's put art glitter glue between those marks. Let's take our thanks. And it needs to be right about there. A little dab of hot glue back here. A little dab here. And now I'm going to turn that over. And just press it from behind, trying to get that to adhere. There we go. Got some glitter glue here, but that'll dry clear, so that's not a problem. Let's pinch it in place. Great. Okay, let's work on the give. The G, the G is going to have to go right there. Let's see if the others will fit. Oh yeah, they'll fit fine. I, V, E. Okay, so looking at my G, I need art glitter glue on the bottom here and all of that. So let's get the art glitter glue on the bottom of that and the entire stem. And I'm working to leave a space between the H and the A and have this kind of nest right there inside that curve. You know what would work is if I had something under here to help me push against. Yes. Okay, don't leave it there too long because I don't want it to stick. Now let's get the eye. Again, press V. And E. working at the spacing here is similar to the spacing there, which is similar to the spacing there. Okay, there's the letters. Now I see that this has come up, so I'm going to come over here and try, maybe I'll turn it over, see how that works quick. And under here, get some more glue on that. I bet I didn't even put glue there initially. There we go. Okay, let's go back. That's not holding, so that means we're going to use hot glue. Just a dab here. Now, let's place our flowers. One down, a bigger one up. I want to see the T, and a little one down, like so. And then leaves. Should I put the leaves on first or afterwards? Definitely afterwards. So let's get this one, and it's going to go right here, like so. And let's get this one. Good amount of hot glue there. T going into the space between the green there. And the little one a little closer down here. Now this spot will get filled with leaves. Let's put glue along here. These you can give a little dimension to too, I would think. We don't want them all stiff, do we? How you put these leaves in is really up to you, the artist. You can arrange these any way you want. You could put the flowers down here. You could have fewer or more leaves. Now, these ribbons here, matching on both sides. Let's get my ruler, and I am going to measure out 3 inches on both sides right there. Can't do that. Cut it off at 3 inches. Even it up and cut in the 45s to the center. You would never leave ribbons with blunt ends. There's that one. I'll measure out my 3 inches here so that this one is the same. And do the same on this end. There are a lot of different ways that you could attach a hanger to the top of this. Kind of depends what's in your stash. I had this 1.5 inch D-ring, brass D-ring that I thought would work. So I am going to use some of the ribbon cut down to the same width and I'm going to attach it up here. I want to leave it loose to help with balance, so I'm not going to attach it to the wooden ring, but I'm going to keep it loose. I'm going to do this with hot glue. I am going to use tweezers so that I don't burn myself. I'm going to put a row of hot glue on here. And I'm going to bring this over and glue it in place and squeeze it till the glue dries. There we go. Snip off the extra here. Slide that around to the back. And that'll give me a great flexible hanger to attach to the wall for this. That's just one idea. You can try others. In the area of customizing, I also made a tiny little sunflower, and I thought about putting it on here. I generally like going with 3s, and after having made this little one, I've probably decided I'm going to stay with the 3, although you might want to make it. I'm going to include this in the download in case you'd like to make extra sunflowers for your display. Artist's choice. Anyhow, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed making this, and send me photos of your finished projects. Send them to Margie at 3dcuts.com. Have a great day, everyone, and happy crafting. I will be introducing this new style of wall decor with 3 designs. I hope to make more in the future. There is the Dear Family, Give Thanks, and the Christmas Cottage. Thanks for watching. Happy crafting, everyone, and have a great day.